All right, as part of the third annual PulseCon, the best one yet, we are thrilled to have an awesome guest here with us today. He is an accomplished WWE superstar. In fact, the very first Triple Crown champion in NXT history. He is affectionately known worldwide as Johnny Wrestling, and he has earned the moniker Johnny Takeover. And after today, perhaps we can add a Johnny PulseCon to the list. Please join me in welcoming Johnny Gargano.
Hi, Ryan. How are you? Thank you for having me. This is great. No, I'm super pumped to be here. Quite the introduction by you. I appreciate that for gassing me up. Great job. Great job.
I know it's not quite the same as standing in front of 14,000 people in Toronto, but I was trying to bring a little energy to it.
Well, I'm sitting in front of like 14,000 figures, so I mean it's close. It's close.
Yeah, so speaking of which, right, again, thank you for joining us. I know this is a busy time for you. You know, as fans of yours know, we welcomed you back into the spotlight after a couple of months off there. And so I just got to ask you right off the bat, how was that going? You know, what did it feel like coming down the ramp there in front of those fans in Toronto for the first time? And what did that response mean?
Yeah, man, I can't put it into words. You know, being off for 9 months and not knowing if people are going to remember you, then to come out and get that reaction and to hear the chants again and hear everyone go nuts, it's just warmed my heart so much. It's amazing to be able to now work for a company again that I truly believe in, and they believe in me. I'm just incredibly lucky, and I'm very excited for what the future holds.
That's right. So speaking of your Marvel fandom, I'm always curious as to how people kind of get into Marvel, whether it was something from growing up or, the movies. So can you just take us through your Marvel origin story, as it were?
Yeah. So I was a big, if you can't tell, obviously that's above my head right now, a big Spider-Man the Animated Series fan. Also X-Men the Animated Series as well. But also I read the comic books too. When I was younger, my mom, every single week, we'd go to a local convenience store and she'd always buy me a comic book. So I started a comic book collection then as well when I was younger. So I was really big into Spider-Man, X-Men, among various other characters as well.
You still have any of those old comics kicking around? I know I do from back in the day.
Yes and no. They were in my basement for a very, very long time, and they do not hold up anymore.
Well, a simple question is, who's your favorite Marvel character if you had to pick one? That's an easy one.
Okay, so it's probably an easy answer. Spider-Man is definitely my choice. Spider-Man's my number one favorite. If I had to pick just one, Spider-Man for sure. Yeah, which I think you knew. You probably know that already about me. You probably know that about me already.
That's a good answer. I think a lot of people would agree. So have you been kind of involved with the films? I think we're around the same age, so that would have been like the Spider-Man trilogy from the early 2000s, like the X-Men films, and then segueing into the cinematic universe, like the Marvel Studios in 2008 with Iron Man. I assume you've been along for the entire ride of those films?
I have. So Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man holds a special place in my heart. I believe probably for you as well, because we're around the same age. So those early Spider-Man films, for me, was like the epitome of what a superhero film should be, especially like Spider-Man 1, then Spider-Man 2, back to back. Just absolutely amazing. But you're talking to a guy who also liked the Daredevil movie as well. So I don't know, maybe you can't take my taste too seriously. But
I like that one.
It was good. It gets a bad rap, but I think I like the Daredevil movie. But I think especially we're living in the current age with the MCU and whatnot, where we're living in the golden age of superhero movies. So I literally, all of those hold a special place in my heart.
So can you hit me with your top 3 favorite MCU films? Do you have that at the ready to fire off?
I do. Of course I have that at the ready. Yeah, of course. So Spider-Man No Way Home is my number 1. Obviously Spider-Man is my favorite, and to see Tobey come back and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland all interact, just amazing film. And then I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna combine the two a little bit. I'll go Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War, kind of doubled up there, lumped together for number 2. And for number 3, I'm gonna go with the Winter Soldier as my number 3.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list. The No Way Home and then the Infinity War and Endgame. I think everyone remembers where they were because there's big moments in that, and the audience reaction, right, was like such a part of that. From
literally.
Toby and
I
Andrew
always say
arriving.
this. I say that like I love to get tickets to the opening night showings for the movies because I feel like that's as close as I'm going to get to feeling like a wrestling fan because like I'm in wrestling all the time, so like I'm not in the crowd and I can't get caught up in like the reactions and the surprises because I know I think I'm too far deep in the wrestling side. So that's my opportunity to actually go and sit in a crowd. I love jam-packed theaters. I love the ruckus, like rowdy Marvel fans on opening night that are just all pumped up for the surprises, and then the surprises come, and everyone together collectively just goes crazy. Like Infinity War and Endgame for me, those reactions, I'm always going to remember those reactions. They were insane.
Yeah, it's nice to get back, too. I mean, we just came off of Thor, Love, and Thunder and Doctor Strange, right? When the Illuminati showed up, which was long rumored, but then you saw it for the first time. It was just crazy. So we talked movies. So I know this about you, but maybe not all the fans do. To the true extent of an action figure connoisseur that you are, and special props, by the way, for being a mostly in-pack collector because we need to stick together. There's some people
right?
are
I know there's
dead
not a lot
set
of us.
against
I feel
that.
like there's not many of us, so we all got to stick together here.
Yeah, so take us through some, what lines, both vintage and some of the modern stuff. Just what are you into most? Like, behind you there.
Yep, obviously, I'm a big Spider-Man the Animated Series collector. So if we're talking vintage, Spider-Man the Animated Series, also X-Men vintage collector there as well. As you can tell, I'm a big Marvel Legends fan. So obviously, you guys doing the re-releases of the Spider-Man the Animated Series stuff, also the X-Men stuff, the X-Men VHS set as well. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Vintage as well, Power Rangers, but also current Power Rangers as well. And also vintage Star Wars, but also current Black Series Star Wars as well. So all across the map.
What kind of modern releases just kind of get you most excited these days in terms of stuff that's coming out new?
I think you know me now. Well, very, very well. Obviously, the re-releases of the vintage stuff hold a special place in my heart because obviously I have the original stuff. So now to get the updated versions of them, especially in Marvel Legends, but also Power Rangers as well, also Star Wars as well. But like I tell you all the time, the Spider-Man the Animated Series re-releases of those that I have up there that I try to display all together, as you can see. I have like all of them kind of set, and these are 3 peg deep as well. By the way, everybody, like I have the Cyclops next to the Cyclops right there, the original with the re-release. I have the Venoms next to each other, the Spider-Man next to each other, the Lizard, obviously Lizard's up there. So yeah, that's kind of how I like to display things.
I like doing that too, the before and after, right? Because we try to be as faithful to the Toy Biz. The blister cards are a little bit of different size. The figure is obviously larger, but the team does a great job in making that packaging kind of look alike.
And it's something like looking at it, like it looks absolutely so much similar. Like it looks great.
And our friends in the building and our fellow brands from Star Wars to Power Rangers to Transformers, even Ghostbusters this past year, but either re-releasing the old figures as you know it or kind of modernized versions, but on that old packaging. It's like, for me, Transformers, G1 stuff, anytime they put stuff in a G1 inspired box, I have to go get it. But that's cool. So I think in your line of work, right, you probably travel or have traveled a fair amount. Do you kind of like hit up all the latest toy spots when you land in a new city?
Yes. So I'm traveling a lot more now, obviously. I just got back, so I'm going to be traveling more. But I feel like that's my thing now. I have friends that like look up what gym they want to go to. As soon as I land, hop in my app and I search like vintage toys or comic books. I literally was just traveling this weekend and I found like a vintage comic book store like a 3-minute walk away. So I was like, oh, that's done. So that's immediately priority as soon as I get to a new city. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, we took a trip to Vermont for skiing last season and drove through New Hampshire on the way home, and there were all these awesome comic stores and toy stores just randomly in New Hampshire, and so we had to stop at them all and picked up some Toy Biz. Actually, picked up some old Toy Biz stuff.
There you go.
I know I see some of your posts. You're kind of into other collectibles as well, particularly graded slabbed comics, and that's kind of a new thing maybe for you. I'm just getting into it as well. But what's that been like?
It's
and what's
dangerous.
your approach?
Yeah, it's dangerous, man. It's a dangerous game. I always don't recommend it because there's such a rabbit hole you go down when you're collecting graded slab comics, and I'm very particular. And my wife, like Candace, has learned about this because she's like tried to buy me. She has bought me things for Christmas and stuff. Like I only want 9 and above, 9.0 and above as far as grading goes. White pages. I really like the direct editions. So I'm very particular about what I want. Like I started out because I wanted to collect the run of pretty much all of the Black Suit Spider-Man sort of covers, like first appearance of Venom, like Spider-Man 300, like the Black Suit Spider-Man 252, like all of those, Secret Wars. Like I collected all of that. Like my grail at the time was Spider-Man 300, which Candace got me for Christmas, which is a big boy. But now I've gone even further down the rabbit hole where now I'm like, okay, now I'm really big game hunting. And I'm probably not going to search for 9 and above, but now the ones that are on my mind that I want are obviously like Amazing Fantasy 15. I'm never going to get it, but it's like that's the number one grail on my list. But then like Incredible Hulk 181, and then like Giant Size X-Men #1, ones like that I want that maybe I'll take a lower grade on, obviously, because I'm not going to spend millions of dollars on it. But still, like those are my big game items on my mind right now.
Well, in the meantime, for Amazing Fantasy 15 and then Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine, we've got some legends to tide you over for that. Cool. So, I think fans know too the reason why you've been one of the reasons why you're kind of coming back is you and Candace had a baby, so congratulations on that again. And I'm just wondering, Thank you. Of your pent up fandom, like you must look forward to sharing that with him someday, and hopefully he's into the same kinds of toys and stuff, right?
Yeah. So he comes in this room a lot, and he just likes looking at things. One day, and I am positive of this, one day I'm just going to find him in here, and a lot of these things are going to be open. Like I'm expecting the day. It's going to happen for sure. We kind of tried to, thanks to you sent us some Spidey and his Amazing Friends figures. So I'm trying to like give him his own little area. We're like, here's Spidey and his Amazing Friends area. And like we're watching that cartoon, so we're trying to get him more into that. We're really pushing Spidey and his Amazing Friends because the figures for Spidey and his Amazing Friends also have amazing stuff. So that's what I'm going for.
Love to see that. Yeah, I had a toy room in our old house, and I would bring my son up there when he was little, and he would just kind of play with the stuff. But at a certain point, they're like strong enough to take things down or potentially open something. So then it was time to kind of reconsider that strategy.
That's coming at some point.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I told you this earlier, but like as part of this PulseCon extravaganza, we're talking with a bunch of guests, such as yourself, and we also, we'll have spoken with Brian Hoyer, NFL quarterback, and former Cleveland Brown. And I know you're a big Cleveland sports fan, and you rep the Browns a lot. So, any special message for Brian?
Brian Hoyer you are absolutely one of the best quarterbacks the Browns have had since they came back in 1999. You are yourself a local Cleveland guy. I think you're from Lakewood, local Cleveland guy. So thank you for always repping the Browns and giving us great seasons, or like having a tremendous season back in 2014 as well. I always remember that. You're one of the best that we've had. So thank you for that, Brian Hoyer. You're the man.
We're just making connections here. Marvel Legends is all about champions. We've got Super Bowl champion Brian Hoyer.
All us Cleveland guys got to stick together.
That's right. We've got WWE champion Johnny Gargano. Okay, well, with that, fans, thank you for hanging in with us and chatting with me and Johnny. But I have sent Johnny a sealed package with a PulseCon Marvel Legends reveal, and we've arranged this so that he has not opened this, or he has no idea what it is. And we are going to unbox it live for the first time. I want to say this is the first time we've done this virtually with a guest.
Is it? Is this the first time we've done this?
I think so.
Wow.
You're an animation fan. You're a movie fan. You're a vintage fan. What kind of item are you hoping for? What would you expect in here? Just if you were to guess.
So
we'll see how accurate.
Just knowing you, it is going to be something kind of from the animation sort of department. That's where my head went when this whole thing came about. I don't know. I want to say it's gonna be Spider-Man the Animated Series, in that realm, but I don't want to guess too much. But knowing you and knowing what it might be, like that's where my head's gonna go here.
Well, you're in the business of knowing fans, what fans want to see, and sometimes you give them that, and sometimes you got to surprise the fans with something that they weren't expecting. So why don't you go ahead and kind of open it up and talk us through your just thought process of what you're reacting to when you see this. Again, guys, this is a first-time Marvel Legends reveal, which we will talk more about.
So just so everyone knows, and like you said, this is 100% legit. I have no idea what's in here. I have not opened this beforehand. This is completely taped up. Like, it's been sitting at my house for about maybe like 5 days at this point. It's been burning a hole in my room because I haven't been able to open it, and it's been killing me. So let's see what we got here.
It was clearly indicated with a top secret pink post-it, handwritten by me.
Oh boy.
So I think you'll find two versions. It's the same item. It's just one is kind of in pack and one is out of pack.
Oh boy. It's brand new StarLord. Amazing. This is great.
Which version of StarLord is that?
Is the I'm trying to remember now. It's the comic, right?
It's the comic. It's the first appearance of StarLord from the comics.
First appearance. Also, it is, as you know, I don't know if other people know. Well, you can probably look this up online. This was the book that I had in the crib when we announced that Quill. If you don't know, our son's name is Quill. We named our son Quill after Peter Quill. And when we did the announcement photo, we had the first appearance of StarLord in the crib as well. So this is amazing. I have an unboxed one as well. Hold on, let me get that out in here. Oh, good! Oh, look at you! Look at you! You got the logo on it too. Good man. Good man.
Trying to be artistic there, but
you packaged this really well, by the way.
So we'll throw some pictures, I think, up on the screen as we play this back, but you can just kind of talk them through. He's got some accessories in there.
He does. Here you go. I'm going to put him up closer to the camera. Nice. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. He does have accessories. He's got a sword. He's got this. I also feel like, you have something, but hold on. Wait, let me see. I have something right here. I literally have the book right here.
There he is.
There it is.
So for those figure fans who want to know the details, this is a pinless body. So we are using the Vulcan body. Johnny, we did a Bonebreaker X-Men wave this year, and so Vulcan in that was kind of a new smooth body for us to use going forward. So he's got pinless elbows and pinless knees.
Oh yeah.
He's got the shoulder rockers. He's got a holster there for his blaster on his right side, right, I believe. And then he has, so you can take that out. Yeah, he's got fists. He has got two fists. He has two gripping hands, so he can actually hold the blaster and the sword at the same time, one in each hand, and get some really good upper body movement there. So this is a 2023 Marvel Legends item, and this was something that Dwight and the team thought it would be a good time to do. The first appearance of comic StarLord. We've done a whole bunch of movie MCU StarLords, but never gone back all the way.
Is this the first time you guys have done comic StarLord before?
We have done the kind of modern style comic Star-Lord from when the Guardians team was introduced. So that was like with Drax and Gamora, kind of leading up to the first film in 2014. But that was their kind of like blue and red kind of look, and he had the helmet back then, and he had the twin blasters. But this is going back to that first comic appearance, and so. Just to let fans know, too, this item is going to be available for pre-order as part of Walmart Collector Con on October 6th. So today is PulseCon, right? And so in a week's time will be Walmart Collector Con. This will be a Walmart exclusive in the US and Canada. So you can go get them there and show them. I had this extra acrylic case lying around. I thought it would be fun just to send to you. But show off the package there.
Also, I want to say how impressed I am with the head movement on him as well. As you can see with the joints underneath it, like the head actually moves an insane amount of head movement here. Which
you can get it going back a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
And as you mentioned, your son, whose name is Quill, I thought it would be a cute tie-in, and one of our team members who actually works on the Spidey and his Amazing Friends line, they have a son as well, and his middle name is Quill. So it's kind of it's a strong name, it's a hearty name that people are using.
It is. It's funny because like knowing I am a huge nerd, it wasn't even I'm not even the one who came up with it. Candace came up with it like 5 years ago. So we've had the name Quill locked and loaded for our son. And all we needed was him to show up, and he showed up, and here we are. And it's so funny that like I didn't even put two and two together when this whole thing went down that this was a possibility. So this is awesome. I love it. I can't wait to show him this when he's older as well, and be like, look, your dad unveiled a Star-Lord figure because of you, because of your name. So that's cool.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. It was a pleasure, chatting with you. If the fans don't already, where can they find you? I know you do a lot of streaming and you're active on the socials.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at Johnny Gargano, on Instagram at Johnny Gargano as well. I'm on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheJohnnyWrestling. I show a lot of my collection always. Anything I ever get anything new or anything like that, or if I get any new graded comics, I always post them. So follow along and enjoy my nerdiness.
We'll nerd out together. I'm definitely jealous of your setup. I am not up to pegboard status yet. I am in plastic totes and cardboard boxes. So that's my next level. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thank you for being a part of PulseCon. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to see what you have in store next. And we're watching on TV every week, so we'll be on the lookout.
Thank you, Ryan. You're the man. Keep making all of us nerds very proud and very happy. You do amazing work. You're the man.
All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Johnny. Take care.
Thank you, dude.